Morning all, morning people. Good morning. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Don't forget as well to like and share the vids. More importantly, don't forget the live watch along this Saturday. I think we get going from 7:30 or 8. I'll double check as to when the first fight, which I think is Campbell Hatton, or was it Scott Fitzgerald? Whatever it is, we're going to get going from the start. Man, I've been back in the gym, yeah. I've got to remind myself that I am 40 years old because I've been chucking the weights around and now I'm as stiff as a board. Honestly, my back's hurting, my legs hurting. I'm like, Ade, relax. Relax, son. You're not 25 anymore. All right. Do we even want to talk about AJ Fury? Do we want to? You know what? Let's talk about Dave Allen first. Let's do that. Dave Allen is out of retirement, peeps. I can't lie to you. I'm very disappointed to hear that. But he is back. I don't know who he signed to. I don't know if he signed to Matchroom. But he put a post up talking about him. He mentioned it, didn't he, a couple of months ago. I think he put a post up the other day showing his physique. Yeah. Disappointing, right? This seems to be the hardest sport to walk away from. Right, the toughest sport is also the hardest. I do think like boxers can't just retire. You've got to go and see someone, a therapist, psychologist, whatever it is. You can't just say I'm done. It just doesn't work like that. I think you've got to see someone because not many boxers just walk away without returning, especially when they can because of their age. Like obviously, if you're like fucking Bernard Hopkins, when you're done at 50, you're done, right? But if you're in your 30s, you do think, you know, you go to the gym, you hit a couple of bags, you maybe hit some pads and you think, I've still got it. Don't know. I will say this though, his retirement surprised me at the time. But then, I remember Eddie Hearn saying it was a great choice, like good. As David Price retired. Because David Price is the kind of fighter that was always chucked on these pay-per-views that we're seeing. And I thought, I don't know, I just thought his name would have been added to a pay-per-view. There has been some whispers about Hughie Fury. Maybe that's going to be for the AJ Fury card. All right, quickly, let's have a look at some news before we talk about AJ Fury. Got to talk about it, man. As much as, trust me, I don't really want to talk about it, but there has been some new news in the last 24 hours that I think is worth mentioning. What's this? Chris Algieri will return on Summer Triller Fight Club pay-per-view card. Okay. Interesting. Remember Chris Algieri? Did he beat Provodnikov? I think he did beat Provodnikov, didn't he? And his eye was really swelled up. Man, that Provodnikov was one bad motherfucker. Say that now. Bad dude. All right, I don't think there's much because all the other news really surrounds the two fight cards. And we're going to do, I don't know when this video is going to come up, but I'm going to do a prediction video. I'm really shit at predictions, but I think I'm going to get most of these right. I think so. We're going to do a prediction video after. So let's just talk AJ versus Fury, right? I mean, look, I know this frustrates the hell out of everyone, just because we all want to see it. I will say this, it frustrates the fighters more than it does us. That's the one, don't know what that means, but it's true, right? I think Fury's more frustrated and AJ are more frustrated than we are. I mean, we're frustrated, of course we are, because we want to see it, especially from a British standpoint, even from a world standpoint, but from a very selfish British standpoint, obviously this is our biggest fight of all time. This is it, right? This is two Brits going at it. This is it. It's all the marbles. Every single belt is on the line, including the IBO belt, you know, and the WBC will make something as well. So this is big. So obviously we've been going back and forth about what's going on with this for months. I've gone from 90% to 100%. I think the other day I made a video saying 30%. Bob Arum has said a couple of things about it. Bob Arum said this one. He said it will take months for the Saudis to do their due diligence on such a huge deal. The fight in July, August is dead in the water. As far as we are concerned, the fighters need to go and have other fights this summer. I mean, firstly, look, who am I to say anything negative about Bob? Bob's been in the game 60, 70 years, however long it is. He fucking promoted everyone, right? Some great fights. But it was Eddie Hearn that done this deal. I say this deal. It was Eddie Hearn that done a deal with this same Saudi group for Ruiz and Joshua, right? So I don't know how involved Bob Arum is in with these discussions. I don't know. I don't know if they fucking have a WhatsApp group chat, man. I don't know how involved he is. So when he says they've got to do their due diligence, I feel like they've already done their due diligence with regards to Eddie Hearn. Right? Eddie Hearn's solid for them, right? I mean, the Ruiz-Joshua thing turned out to be a success. So I think that due diligence part is done. It's weird. That came out, yeah, and then almost like, I know this guy's accused of being Eddie's mouthpiece, but Mike Coppinger then released his own tweet saying that, well, let me get exactly what Mike said, just so I don't paraphrase it. Mike Coppinger said, sources, despite Bob Arum's claims that Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua is in serious jeopardy, a site deal worth more than $150 million is expected to be completed this weekend that will land the undisputed heavyweight championship title in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in early August. Now that's kind of the date we've been hearing, right? It was kind of July. There was a couple of dates in July or sort of the first or second week in August. So it was like a month window. Now, okay, that gives me some hope. We've gone from 30 to 65. I'm not going crazy anymore, 30 to 65. Eddie Hearn was on TalkSport yesterday. Obviously, he's in the bubble right now. And he was with Spencer Oliver, and they were on Simon Jordan and Jim White's show. And he obviously was very upset with Bob Arum's words. He was saying, like, look, support me, give me some help, blah, 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 as opposed to, you know, always talking negative about the fight. But he said he will announce next week. That's what he said. He said, well, actually, that's bullshit. He didn't say that. He said he will give us an update as to some news next week. No, okay, let me exactly what was said. Someone asked him, I don't know if it was Jim or Simon, someone said, when do you pull the plug on this? And I feel like Eddie was a bit hesitant to respond to that question because, you know, if he does, then everyone's going to be like, oh, I thought the fight was going to happen. But he said he expects the fight to be announced the end of next week. That was the exact words. Sorry, got there in the end. What can we do? What can we as fans that are on the outside looking in do? We just kind of take what information's given to us and make of it what we can. Like, you know, I have to be honest, Bob's words didn't fill me with much hope. Didn't. But then Mike Coppinger saying, you know, that the site deal's done and that it's going to be announced or complete. Everything is going to be completed this weekend. So 3 days, well, not even 2 days. I've got a bit of hope now. I've got a bit of hope. You know what it is as well, yeah? I was speaking to Rob Tebbett about this. These fights are difficult to make. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know if there's too many cooks in the kitchen in this instance, but these big fights are always tricky to make. Always tricky. Again, when you think of the big one, so you know, it doesn't get bigger than Pacquiao. Mayweather does it 5 years in the making. Well, it wasn't really 5 years in the making. It wasn't like they were negotiating for 5 years, right? They all went their separate ways and had fights, and Pacquiao lost and built himself back up again. But regardless, that was 5 years later than we wanted to see it. You think of other big fights that have not even got off the ground. Like Spence Crawford's not even literally fucking left. It's not even, that's the ground, that's Spence Crawford. You probably got to even see that gap. You know what I mean? So, you know, they're not easy. They're clearly not easy. And then you're talking about doing what financially will be the biggest fight we've ever seen over here in a pandemic. None of this is easy. None of this. You've got people that don't like each other. Let's be very frank about it. Eddie and Bob, or should I say Bob, probably doesn't like Eddie. I think it's fair to say Eddie and Frank and Eddie do not like each other. I say it that way because I think they don't like each other the same way, put it that way. So, it was never going to be easy to do. Never going to be easy. But, I don't know. Look, Mike's and this weekend, Mike's sources are a lot better than our sources, although I think Mike's sources in this instance are just Eddie Hearn. So Eddie Hearn could have tweeted that, but it's Mike that tweets it. Guys, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, let's not make this video longer than it needs to be. I hope it happens. So do you. But it has got to the stage with me where, look, if they go their separate ways, because there's been now talk about a mediation between Wilder and Bloody Fury. Look, if they go their separate ways, I don't give a fuck anymore. I want it to happen, but I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I wouldn't want to see Wilder Fury again. I'd rather it go like, what, Wilder White and Joshua Usyk. Who does Fury fight? I don't know. Fury Joe Joyce? I don't know. I just want to see different matchups, if I'm honest with you. Yeah. Wouldn't mind, I don't think this fight would ever happen, but I wouldn't mind seeing Fury Bloody Ruiz. That would be entertaining, wouldn't it? But yeah, I don't expect that to happen at all. All right, we're done. We're out of here. I'm going to do a prediction video now. And then I'm going to go to work. And then I'm going to come home and sleep. And then I'm going to wake up. And then I'm going to find a bar to have a few drinks.